Okay. So welcome back. Uh, so today this is our third meeting, and what we are coming to talk about is a very quick one. We are coming to talk about Power Query, right? How we can use Power Query to prepare the data, right? Yeah. So Power Query is one of the powerful tool in Power BI, right? And its purpose is to help you to prepare or transform the data before you take it to the before you take it to the Power BI itself for the data visualization. Okay. So normally what I'll say in a layman term is like Power Power Query is a kitchen of data, right? Whereby you'll be adding, you'll be deleting, you'll be preparing the data. Right. Good. Now, okay, so let's start. This is the data we are coming to work on, right? So I got this data from GitHub, right? Yes. So this is the data we are coming to work on. Now, so we are coming to use this data to we are coming to use data we are coming to prepare this data, right? So we'll be here, we'll be removing columns, we'll be on pivot 8 and all those things, right? Yes. Now, okay. Now let's import the data. So first of all, we check the extension of the data, then so this data is coming from CSV, right? CSV source. So here we choose text or CSV. Then you locate your data. I think I have it here. Okay. Oh, it's not here. So I think it's not. Okay. So it's Excel rather. It's Excel file, not CSV. Okay. Okay. So it's important. Let's wait for some time. Yeah. Okay. So these the different tabs in the data, right? So these are the tabs. Sorry, these are the sheet. It's Excel. So these are the sheet. We have the pivot table. Let's preview the data. So this is the pivot table, and then this is the overview sheet. We have pivot table sheet, purchase overview, and then purchase track. Alright, good. So here we select these two. Here we are interested in these two, the pivot table and then the purchase track. Alright. And then the purchase. So these are the two sheets we are interested in. Okay, then we click on transform. So the transform will take you to the Power Query. Right. Okay, so let's wait for. So it's now taking it to the. Okay.
Almost the screen is frozen. Oh. I'm
The,
only seeing one part.
okay, my screen is frozen, right? Okay. So let me. Is it okay now? Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. Okay now. So this is the data we have here, right? This is the data we have. And then we have two different tables here. We have the first one, which is the pivot table, tables, and then we have the purchase overview, right? Good. So you can see that there's this data is somehow horrible, right? So we are coming to use the Power Query editor to do what? To transform this data to a suitable format that we can work with, right? Yes. Okay. So I will first start with the purchase overview, right? And okay, so so this is the Power Query editor view, right? We have when you look at the property side, we have that's the name, the purchase, which is the purchase overview. So this purchase overview is the table name. So if I click on the Power pivot table, you see it what? Pivot table here, right? So let's say we have 10 tables. If you click on each of the table, the name of the table will appear here. Okay. And then we have the apply steps. So the apply steps is where every changes you made or you make, right, it will appears in this apply steps, right? Any changes you make, it will appears here, this side, so that if you wanted to go back, you just click on this plus sign, this multiplication sign here to take you back. I go. So here, for example, let me say I wanted to make some editing here. So the column 2, let me make it, let's say column 22, right? Good. So as soon as I change the column 2 to column 222, it's the apply steps, the changes I made comes here, which is what? Rename columns, right? Rename columns. So that means what? Telling me that I have made a changes to the table, which is what? I have renamed a column. So here, if I click on this plus sign, multiplication sign here, it will take me back. You see that now is what? I'm going back to the initial column name, right? Good. So that's all about the apply steps. And then we also have the home here. We have transform, we have add column, view, tools, and then we have help. Now we'll talk about this. We talk about each of them during this workshop. So don't worry. I will take you through it one by one. So here, basically, what we are coming to do today is that how we can transform this data we have. Now, anytime you see this now here, remember that it's empty, right? It's empty. So this now here means we have the first two rows are empty. So what we are coming to do is that we are coming to remove that two rows, right? Okay, good. So here you select it, then you go to remove rows, right? This side here, remove rows. You click on remove rows. Then here, remove top rows. We have remove bottom rows and then remove. So here the rows we are removing is the first two. So we choose the remove top rows. Okay. So let's wait. Remove top row. Good. And then it has given me the dialog box as open, which is remove top rows. Specify how many rows to remove from the top. And we wanted to remove the first two. So here I'll enter 2. Right? First 2. Then okay. Then here we have removed the first 2 rows. If you look at this apply steps here, you can see that the apply step says that remove top rows, telling us that we have removed we have made some changes, and then the changes name is remove top rows, right? So if I click here, this sign, that means I've moved back to my initial state, right? Good. So let me do it once again. Okay, so 2. Okay, so I've removed the first 2. Now we wanted to use the first row, this row, the first row, this row as a column, right? Because the column names here are by default given by what? Given by the Power Query, right? You don't want that default name, so you wanted to change it, right? So here you select it, you go to transform, then you choose use first row as a header, right? So click on use first row as a header. Now we have used the first row as a header, right? Okay, use the first row as a header. Now if you click on this drop down here, when you click on this drop down here, you will see the distinct values we have. Now we have the null values here, one null values here, which is row 10, or you can even check it from this side, right? Here means that we have null values. We wanted to remove these null values here. Okay, so here we can uncheck it, uncheck these null values here, then click on OK to remove that null values here. Now we have removed, there is no null values here, right? That we have filtered it out. Or let me go back here. Okay, or we can also click on this drop down here the same way, then go to remove empty, right? Because it's an empty, there's an empty space. If you click on remove empty, we can also remove it, right? Yes. So now we have removed all the null values from it. Now when you go through all the table, you realize that this table is not all that good for, let's say if you wanted to build a visualization with it, right? Or wanted to build dashboard. But here we have null values here, we have another null values here, though we have removed it, some of them still in it, right? Some of them are still in it. Yes. So what we have to do right now is we have something called pivot table, right? And a pivot table means that pivot table, pivot table is, putting the data in the summary form, right? Yes. So this data is in the pivot form. Yeah, so we have the date here, all the dates here. So this one tells you that this data, it won't be good when you wanted to work with it, right? So here we have to unpivot all this all the dates. We have to unpivot it. So here what we have to do now is that I will select all the dates. Sorry, I'll select all the dates, rather, not this one here. Let me select all the dates, right? Select all the dates and then unpivot it, right? So I'll select all the dates, then I'll click on transform, then I'll click on pivot columns, right? On pivot columns. Good. So now here I have what? I have pivot all the dates. So this now the new form of the data, right? I have unpivoted. Okay. Now we wanted to change the data types, right? So here the ABC here tells you that the data type is what? Is a text, because the location contains text, product is also text. Then we have grand total here. Grand total here contains what? Decimals, right? And then the attribute here is also what? The attributes here is also text. Sorry, it's also date, but it has detected it as what? As text. So here we have to change it. We have to change it. Now here you can click on Ctrl A to select all all the tables and you go to here, detect data type, right? So if you click on detect data type, it will automatically detect it, right? It will automatically detect the data types, all the data type. You see that here it's now what? It's now that text has changed what? It has changed to date, right? So this calendar means what? Date. Alright, this is one way of what? Of detecting all the columns, the data types of all the columns. Okay, another form is that you can also click on this here, then also you can also choose date or any of the data type here. So if you text, you click on the text. So now, okay, then I will replace it current. So this one way of what? Of also changing the data type, right? Or you can also highlight it as I did earlier, detect data type, right? Or you can go to data type, right? So now it's test. So I can also change it from this side. So I change it to date. Then you place the current. So now it's what? Now it's date. Are you okay? Okay. 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 This. So now we have what? We have worked with the date. Now we can also drop some columns or delete some columns in it, right? Good. Now this grand total, let's assume that we don't need this grand total. We wanted to remove it, right? You select it, you right click on it, then go to remove, right? Remove, then you remove it. You remove the column, right? Remember that every changes you make to this table here, it appears at what? At this apply steps, right? Yes. Okay. Now I think we have, so let's check whether we have the null values in it here. Okay, we don't have empty values here. We don't have any null values here again. We don't have any null values here too. Then here too we don't have any null values. Let me check it. Okay, then I think we are good to go. We don't have null values here. Okay, now let's move to the pivot table, right? Let's apply the same concept to the pivot table. The pivot table here, this table. Okay, this table too, the same thing here. This table too is not good, right? The table is not good. So what you have to do is we have to here use first row as a header, right? Good. We use the first row as a header here. Then we check all the data types too. This we have grand total here. The grand total, you can remove the grand total. So here let's keep the grand total. But remember that we have date here, right? We have date here, another date, another date, and another date, right? Yes. So here we have April, May, February, January. Remember that here is all the data type is float, right? So we wanted to unpivot this one too. So let's unpivot this one too. Okay, let me first rename this one here. Let me rename it to, let's say, products. Okay, let me rename it to product. Then let's unpivot this one. So here I'll highlight this one up to here. Okay, so then this one too, let me unpivot it. Unpivot column. Good. Now I have what? I have unpivoted. Now remember that this one is test. It's not date, right? This column is test. It's not date, right? Though it is January, February, March, but it's still test. So here, let's say if I change it to date, let me change it to date and see. You see that I'm getting what? I'm getting errors, right? I'm getting errors. So here, let's keep it as what? As date. sorry, at test, not the data type. Let's keep it at test, not date. Right, good. Now I think we are good to go. So let's also check if there's a null values here. Now we don't have null values here. This column consists of null values, right? So here we don't need this column. So let me remove this column from here. Okay. Then here, the data type, let me change it to date. Instead of the attribute, let me change it to date. Sorry, that's the column name. Let me change the column name to date. And then we have our values here. So the values here can be, let's say, you can keep it at values, or you can keep it at what? As sales, right? Yeah, so here you can also change it to sales, right? Let's say sales. Yeah, good. Okay. And then the grand total to, let me check here if there's the grand total here. There's no grand total here. So here, this one too, let me change it to date. Let me change this one to date. And then let me change this one to sales. Right. Let me change it to sales. Okay. Then we have product here. We have what? We have product here, right? Product, and then no. This one is not product. This is product, and this is okay. So this is location, right? Sorry, this is location instead of the product. So let me make it location. Yes. I'm coming. Let me check it once more. Let's check the data. Okay. So we have water. Okay, so it's correct. It's rather product, right? It's product, so it's okay. Now we have used Power Query editor to do or to transform our data, right? I think our next meeting you also use Power Query to also transform our data before we take it to the Power BI itself, right? Okay. So after you have done transforming your data and everything, then go to home, close and apply. So this close and apply will take you to what? This close and apply will take you to the Power BI. Okay. So let me share the screen again here. Okay, so the data is loading to the Power BI desktop. So let's wait for some time. Okay, good. Now we have it here. So you can see the pivot table, 100 rows loaded, and this one too. Okay. So now we have the data in the Power. Okay, so we have the data here, right? When you go to the table view, this is the data we have. Yes, so we have the data here. So now the data is what is now in our table view. So this is also the purchase overview, right? Okay, good. And then when you move to the data model or the model, yes, so this is the model we have, right? So in this place we also I'll also do a section on this the model view, right? The model view tab, I'll do a section on that so you get to know. But here basically what it does is that it helps us to do what, to work with more 2 or more tables, right? As we did in the power view in Excel, right? So here what this one does is that it helps us to find the relationship between the tables, so that we can work with it, or that we can work with more than 2 tables. So here we have 2 tables here, right? Yeah, so here what we have to do is that we have to find the relationship between these tables, right? So when you come here, the pivot table and then the purchase overview, we have, let's go to the table view. The table view, we have product here, right? So the product consists of what? Yeah, so this is the product we have. This is the product we have. We have milk, rice, rope, targets, and all those things, right? This is the bottled water and all those things. These are the products we have. Then when we move to the purchase overview too, we also have products here, right? Yeah, so here let's try if the product we can find relationship between this table, right? It seems that the values in the column are different. Yes. Okay, let's try it if it will work. So let me drag this one and put it here and see. Oh, okay, so it has given me, okay, I think it will rather work with the product and product. No, here so we are creating relationship here. So we have the pivot table and then we have the purchase overview, right? So that means that it doesn't match. It matches with the products and then the location. So let me click on the location and then let me say okay and see if there will be a relationship between them. Okay. Okay. No. Okay. So here I'll find a different data so that we will work with it perfectly. I'll find a different data whereby we can find a relationship between all the data, so that I'll take my time to talk more about this model view, the model view tab. Okay. Okay, so this is the data we have here. Now we have loaded it to our table view, right? Good. So now go to the report view. Now we can start working with the building our dashboard based on this, right? So today this all I want us to do, right? How we can use the Power Query to do what? To transform or to prepare our data, Right. Okay. So any question then, you end everything here. Okay. So any question, Bruce? Do you have any question?
Not really. No, no, no.
So
It's just the one that you said we'll do later. That's what. But then if we'll do it later, then I'm fine.
the model view.
The table for the building. Yeah.
Are you talking about the model view?
If the model view, if we'll do it later, then I'm
Yes,
fine.
yes,
No
yes.
problem. But so far I'm okay.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you have any question, so here I'll end here, and then as for the how to build a report again, you build it from this side, right? So based on
Okay.
that, we use the data we have prepared to build the report, right? Yes. Okay. So Bruce, let's end here, because majority they didn't join, so I don't want us to be doing much, right? So that our next time we talk about the model view very well in details. Okay. So have a nice day.